We're all obsessed with what AI can do, but we almost never ask a more basic question. What's it actually built on? Because it's not just elegant code and powerful algorithms.
Look, the magic of AI, it doesn't just happen in the software. The models themselves, that's really only half the story.
The real foundation is physical. We're talking about a massive global network of seriously high-powered hardware. When you get right down to it, it's all built on silicon. And that brings us to the real conflict, right? The battle that's going to define the next decade of technology. It isn't just about who has the best AI models. No, it's about who controls the physical hardware, the GPUs, that actually bring those models to life. This is exactly why we're digging into Nosana today. See, it's not just another crypto project. It's a fundamental bet on a totally decentralized future for all this computing power. But the big question is, can it actually work? All right, so let's talk about this battleground. What does it even look like? Well, at its core, there's this massive growing bottleneck for one absolutely critical resource, GPU power. And this is where Nosana steps onto the scene. Think of it as a decentralized marketplace. It connects the people who need that GPU power with a huge global network of people who have it just sitting around. It's built on Solana, and it's laser-focused on one very specific and super important part of the whole AI pipeline: inference.
Okay, so how does this whole decentralized thing actually plan to take on the big cloud giants? Let's get into the mechanics of it. Basically, it's a whole ecosystem built on the Solana blockchain, mainly for speed. At the heart of it, you've got this network of nodes. These are real people, real businesses, all providing their hardware. A system then automatically hands out AI jobs to them. They get paid in NOS tokens for their work, and there's a staking mechanism. Think of it like a security deposit that keeps all the operators honest.
What this creates is a really simple but really powerful loop. Let's say you have a GPU just sitting there not doing much. You connect it to the network. Then a developer submits a job. Nosana's system says, "Hey, you're free," and sends the job to your machine. You process it, and boom, you get paid in NOS tokens. It's a pretty brilliant way to make money from computing power that would otherwise just be collecting dust. Now, this next part is a really, really important strategic choice they made. Nosana is not trying to go head-to-head with the giants on training these massive, massive models like GPT-4. That's like the heavy industrial manufacturing of AI. Instead, they're focused on something called AI inference. Here's an easy way to think about it. Training is like teaching the AI what a cat is by showing it a million pictures of cats. Inference is showing it one new picture and just asking, "Hey, is this a cat?" That second part, the asking part, that's where most of the daily commercial action happens, and it's a perfect job for a distributed network. Of course, a system like this is just an idea on paper without the right incentives, right? And that brings us to the economic engine that powers the whole thing, the NOS token. And look, the NOS token isn't just some speculative thing you trade. It's literally the lifeblood of the entire system. You use it for security through staking, it's how operators get rewarded, it's used for network governance, and it's the actual currency for the whole marketplace. Pretty much every single function on the network relies on it. And what's really fascinating, especially when you think about the long-term health of the network, is how they're evolving their tokenomics. The big plan is to link the creation of new tokens, the emissions, directly to real network usage. So this shifts the model from just rewarding people for showing up to rewarding them for creating actual tangible value. This is the exact spot where so many similar projects just completely fall apart. They just can't get this alignment right. Okay, this all sounds pretty promising. I get it. But let's be realistic. Nosana is not operating in a vacuum. The competition is absolutely brutal, and the risks here are very, very real. I mean, it's the classic David versus Goliath story, isn't it? Nosana's potential edge comes from its specialized focus on inference, its open marketplace model, and its deep ties to the super-fast Solana ecosystem. But then you look at the Goliaths, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and they have scale you can't even imagine, years of established enterprise trust, and a global infrastructure that is, frankly, second to none. So we've got to be really clear-eyed about the risks. First, token volatility is a huge factor. The project's success is also completely tied to the continued explosive growth of the AI market. And like we said, the competition is just insane, not just from the big guys, but from other decentralized projects too. But really, it all boils down to one question. Can they get enough paying customers to actually make this thing sustainable? So, where do they go from here? What's next? Let's take a look at their roadmap and try to map out a few potential scenarios for the future. Their official roadmap for 2026 is basically split into two clear parts. The first half of the year, they're calling Whirlpool, and it's all about scaling up the supply side, getting more and different kinds of GPUs into the network, like from AMD, Intel, and even Apple. Then, in the second half, Sombrero, the focus completely shifts to the demand side. That's all about building the kind of serious enterprise-grade tools you need to get big corporate clients to sign on. So you can kind of see three potential futures branching out from here. You've got the bull case. AI demand just keeps exploding. Big companies jump on board, and the NOSC token gets real, sustainable utility from all that activity. Then there's the neutral case. Growth is okay, it finds a solid niche for itself with technical users, but it never really breaks into the mainstream. And then you have the bear case. Adoption just stalls. The competition is too strong, and the token ends up relying on narrative and hype instead of actual real-world usage. Which really leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Can a decentralized network like Nosana genuinely carve out a meaningful piece of the massive global compute market? Or are the moats that the giants have built just too wide, too deep, and too well defended? I guess the next few years are going to tell us the answer. And hey, just a quick reminder, this is all for educational purposes. It is definitely not financial advice. The world of crypto and DePIN has some serious risks, so please always do your own research.